Alright, it's time to do another Yu-Gi-Oh! Group of Monsters ranking, this time on the legendary numbers or the Mythyrian numbers, depending on you. The cards owned by legendary heroes before they died and reincarnated into Barian Emperors. So like usual, they're going to be ranked based on their design with base form first, evolve form second, but since only 2 of them have evolve forms, let's just ignore that. It'll be unfair to all 7. And of course, this is going to be based on the anime appearances, because I like things based on their visuals rather than just their effects. And like usual, this is based on my opinion on how I like their design personally, so you can have your own as well. So with all that explaining out of the way, let's begin. On the bottom of my list, which will be number 7, is number 64. Personally, I don't really like the design. I do like it being a samurai with a raccoon theme, but a raccoon samurai and it looks pretty fat, not really my favorite thing, but I do like the weapon. Also, that number 64 on the helmet is actually a very nice touch, actually, I'm not gonna lie, but I personally just don't like the design, other than the weapon. On number 6, it's number 65. Now, I don't really like its design personally. I do like the dark theme of it, makes it look like a devil, and that is the Japanese name. It does have devil in its name. I like the blade gauntlets, they look pretty menacing. Don't really like the face design, but I do like the wing design, even though I think it should have 2 wings than just a single wing, but it does have some stuff I like compared to the raccoon, so it's really only ranked higher for that reason. Number 5, it's number 54, a gladiator lion. Very fitting, actually. I like some parts of it. One of them is being a lion theme for a gladiator, and that's very fitting. I also like some of the gem pieces and the prince-like clothing fitting for the character. Color scheme also works out really well because fire with rage and brute force usually works well together, so I'll take it. The extra claws on his fists kind of make it a little more threatening too. Now, in my opinion, it's just not as cool as the other cards. Which in number 4, it's number 94, the Cold-Hearted Ice Princess. I really like the color scheme of the clothing. I do like the crystals around her, especially the sword, and that extra crystal design on it. Makes her look a little bit like an alchemist. Number 3, number 44, the Sky Pegasus. Very fitting for a knight like usual, especially the armor design. It does have a knight theme aesthetic to it. I really like the mechanical wings, even though that's the Exceed monster type theme where it's all looking mechanical, but the wings look pretty awesome, even though it looks a little bit like Utopia, but I'll still take it. Especially when it glows using its own effect, and the head design with the helmet looks pretty decent as well. And I kind of like the Pegasus more than the others. Number 2, number 73. Armor design looks pretty cool, especially the water theme aesthetic to it. Makes it look like a guardian of the ocean. I also like the orbs on the armor, that's a nice touch. The horns on the helmet definitely makes it look like a guardian. At most, I just don't really like the gauntlet design, I just find it a little weird, but this monster definitely feels legendary and powerful. And now finally, number 1 on the list, it's number 46. Draculon. Because of course I'm a sucker for dragons, especially this one just looks very gorgeous and majestic like. I love the majestic looking wing design, definitely looks great. The orb on the head gives a little Chinese dragon vibe. In fact, it is based on an Asian dragon, so I'm not gonna lie about that one. And it also makes sense considering on how Numeron Dragon looks. And technically the monster is part of Numeron Dragon, so it makes sense to have that theme look. And the extra wide horns on the head actually makes it look pretty wise, and it makes sense considering who's the character who's using it and who's actually the character itself. So overall, my favorite design out of all the legendary numbers, or Mythyrian numbers. So that's it for these rankings. What do you guys think of it? How would you rank it? And remember, it's based on my opinion, so of course, depending on you, it could be trash. And like I said, if you're going to be ranking these, rank them based on their design rather than effect, because I like to rank things based on their visuals too, rather than just their effects. So go ahead and tell me which one is your favorite visual monster out of the legendary numbers. Now when it comes to the treatment of these monsters, I do wish that they did kind of get a bigger role in Yu-Gi-Oh! Zexal. I mean, some of them were used at appropriate timing, but there were some that were just not used at all, and that kind of was disappointing. Especially when they are basically the opposite counterpart of the Barian Emperors. Still like the story though. But other than that, that's it for this, and see you all next time.